This week on the podcast, it was going to be a simple episode, a fun quiz about Epcot fun facts about World Showcase from the Disney Parks blog. Yep, well, things never go as planned, do they? First, we had this whole conversation about what it's like to travel as a Disney person that normally travels to Disney, but we're not traveling to Disney. Then we do the quiz. Carrie says it's too easy, so then we got to do the Disneyland one. Well, you know how these things go. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us. But it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hi, Carrie.
Hello, Fran.
Who needs to sleep, eh?
Who needs to sleep? That's what I just was saying. It's 9 o'clock at night almost. I'm drinking a caffeinated tea. Yeah. But you know what I did do?
What did you do?
I didn't leave the tea bag in that long. Because you know what I always do? I'll just leave the tea bag in there. And I think that probably would make it worse, right? It would be very strong.
Then it would be, super strong.
So I didn't do that this time. So maybe it's a weak tea that won't keep me up all night long.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
I did hear somewhere, somebody told me once, and I can't remember, it might have been Laura, that they purposely make the tea bags in the U.S. less strong than they do in the U.K. And that's why the Twinings or I guess it's
whatever it's called.
Whatever it's called.
Think so.
The tea bags that you get in the UK Pavilion are actually stronger. Yeah, because I guess people in the United States don't like strong tea. I feel like our tea's pretty strong though.
I would think so.
Like if you let your tea bag stew and brew, you get a good cup of tea.
I think so. And I need to buy some decaffeinated tea for instances like this. I'm out.
Yeah, you shouldn't be drinking
a chamomile tea or a lemon tea or something. But I don't think I have anymore.
Yeah, but I think you shouldn't be drinking caffeine before bed. But anyway, we were getting caught up, Carrie. It's been. I feel like we start every podcast talking about this, how we haven't talked, blah, 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 but it has been extraordinarily busy lately.
Yeah, we've both been pretty busy and not talking too much.
Yeah, and, trying to get ahead of our recording schedule a little bit because of travel plans and things like that. It's been a little tricky. Tricky. And Carrie, I'm struggling. So, of course, by the time this goes live, I will be back from my non-Disney trip. But we're recording in advance of the trip because, we have to get ahead of these things. I can't record from a cruise ship. But Carrie, I don't know how to travel anymore. And I started to think maybe I never really did. I'm trying to think, I don't know how to travel not to Disney. So for years, I spent years going to Scotland once or twice a year. And I know how to get to Glasgow Airport. I know what that airport's like. I know where the shops are. I know what clothes I have to take with me. But it wasn't I didn't have to think about it.
I get it. Totally.
I have no idea. So I am going to New York. I've never been to New York. So I don't even know what the airport's like. It's exciting, but it's weird. I've never been to this airport. I'm flying Delta out of Toronto because WestJet and Air Canada were crazy prices. So we're flying Delta and we're going to LaGuardia. Never been. I don't know honest to goodness, I'm thinking about the morning I'm going to the airport. What am I wearing? And I have no idea because I'm getting there midday. And what am I going to do in New York once I get there? I'm going to go wander the streets, check out some shops. I don't know, maybe eat something.
Maybe eat something.
What do you wear?
I think you'd be like, to go to New York City, you should dress as you would dress if you were going to go to Toronto and get something to eat maybe and look into some shops. It's going to be the same temperature, the same fall weather.
Carrie,
you need a jacket.
You would be so,
or a sweatshirt.
like, if you could see, I have all of it. I have everything. I have sweaters, like 2-zip sweaters. I have like the bomber coat thingamajiggy that you put over top. I have, because I'm doing, so we have running shoes. I'm doing like this 4-night cruise on Norwegian. Never been on, so once upon a time I did a Carnival cruise 100 years ago because my friends wouldn't do anything different. And that's it. I've done Disney. So I like, honest to goodness, Carrie, I don't know what, there are 2 Frannies. There's Franny who goes to work and has like pretty much black pants and different dress shirts that I wear every day to work. And then there's Disney Franny who wears Disney shirts and that's it. That's all I got. Disney purse, like, do you know? But that's
you. So then
I do not own a non-Disney purse.
I don't know. I don't know that I do either. I may have
like,
some,
I mean, like not a funny kid-looking purse. Like I literally,
like a mature.
I don't have a mature. I feel like I may as well just put on my ears and say be done with it.
Well, this is what I think my Disney Franny is Franny. So
yeah,
I don't think there's a rule that you can't wear Norwegian cruise line. You can't wear Disney things on an NCL ship.
Well, no, it's true, but you think it just. I don't know.
But you've got more than just T-shirts that are Disney too. Like you've got other things, right? Like other types of.
What do you mean?
Like, don't you have any nicer shirts, like dressy shirts? Did you buy any of those things at Disney or when we were at the Disney store? That's not like a T-shirt or.
No.
So then it's your work shirts and then some Disney T-shirts.
So there's the work shirt. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So, and because when you go on a Disney cruise, for the most part, I rock up to dinner in my shorts and my T-shirt, and I'm okay. I know some people, except if you go to Palo. But totally acceptable. On this, I feel like I gotta be a little more dressy.
I don't know. I think that I don't know that I agree with that. Like, I think you need to make sure you feel comfortable in case it is where people are a little bit dressier, but like NCL has always been like the casual, unless they've changed something, it's always been like the casual cruise line. Like anytime they had anytime dining before anytime dining existed anywhere, and they got teased for it because they weren't like a traditional cruise ship. They were breaking the rules. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't know about that.
Carrie, my suit, like if you could see my suitcase, it's like...
Oh, I can imagine. I think I need to see a tour of it before you zip her up. I can't... Like, you just have to... You have, like, just like with a cruise... And truly, a cruise... I know that Disney fans probably hate me saying this, but really, baseline, a cruise is a cruise is a cruise. So you just need everything
Carrie,
you do for a Disney cruise is what you do for this cruise.
I'm gone 6 days. I think I have 5 pairs of pants in my suitcase.
But if your suitcase fits it, then don't worry about it. Like
plus shorts and track pants. That was just the pants.
But if your suitcase is big enough to fit it, then don't worry about it. Like, why stress yourself out about it?
It's more the weight. Because true, I'm probably not going to well, maybe I might shop. I don't know. Like, is there shopping? Is there good stuff? Well, the Disney store is near. So the way that Angela sold me the hotel we're staying at I was like, I don't know, you figure it out, I don't care where we're staying. And then she just messaged me and said it's like a 3-minute walk to the Disney store. You okay with that? I'm like, ding, sold.
I think I've stayed at the hotel that you're staying at. I stayed when I went with my sister, and you're right in the middle of, like, you're just steps away from Times Square.
Yeah, and which is where they drop the ball, right?
Yeah, and just out the back of where you're staying, there's like a restaurant called Junior's. Is like a New York cheesecake or whatever. Maybe it's a touristy place that, like, if you were a real New Yorker, you'd be like, oh yeah, don't go there. But like, I think as a tourist,
You want to go
it's
there.
like a diner type place. Juniors.
Like, Carrie, do you know how to travel anywhere other than Disney?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can, because I think when I was younger, I started to travel to other places, right? Like, I traveled to different places, not too far, like to Europe or anything, but, you know, I went on, like, to the Caribbean and to Costa Rica, and I would I love traveling to different cities in the United States and whatever. But then when I started liking Disney, then I just did Disney nonstop. And, like, I'm thinking about planning and, like, traveling different places next year, like, totally outside of the scope of this. And I'm not joking. I'm nervous. Like, I'm thinking, who do I think I am thinking that I can do this? Like, can I manage being in a total foreign country in a, you know, or even doing stopovers in other airports in Europe and being somewhere and not knowing the language very well, or like planning extra things to go on this. Like, do I have what it takes? Because I don't think that I do. And that's the funniest thing, considering my side hustle and considering, like,
exactly.
you know, we both travel an upwards of like 8 times a year to various Disney locations that we're nervous about traveling somewhere different.
It's so weird. And because you even know like, I can close my eyes right now and tell you step for step what it is when you get off the plane in Orlando. And where you go and where you get your bags and where you go to the bathroom. Like, I know everywhere. I'm going to an airport. I have no clue. And it's weird. But I guess this is how lots of people normally feel when they're traveling all over the world.
And everybody's always so nervous, and we're like, it'll be all right.
We're like, whatever. What are you worried about? What are you nervous about? But
meanwhile, we don't go anywhere but the same place over and over and over again.
Now we get it. It's so weird.
It is very weird. And I'm sure, it'll be all good. You just...
Like, even checking the weather and trying to figure out, do I need a sweater? Do I not need a sweater? I have no idea. If I was going to Florida, I'd know exactly. I wouldn't even be checking the weather.
When we should, though, really.
We probably should. Which is how I end up with buying umbrellas every time I go. But still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. But I totally get it. I totally get it. And I think it's, you know, things are probably different than 20 years ago or more when we were wanting to travel different places, and there's more technology and stuff. So if anything, like, it should be a little bit easier.
It should be easier.
You know, we can be connected. We don't like land in a city and have no way to communicate with the people at home or whatever, because we can't have telephone. We don't have cell phones. We don't have cell phone plans. We can't afford a cell phone plan because it's like the same cost as our trip. Like, you know, now we can do Ubers and Lyfts and translate things on our phone by taking photos.
That is so true.
I think it's just that in both of our situations, I think we just need to, like, do it.
And
and take that step away from our Disney bubble.
Oh, Carrie, when you say that about the phones, my first time my parents put me on a plane to go to Scotland by myself, I was probably 20, and I had to go home for something, and I was the only one. No problem. I get on the plane, I sleep all the way there, hunky dory, get off, walk up to the guy, the customs dude or whatever, and he says, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to Cumbernauld." And he said, "What's the address?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Well, where are you going?" I said, "My Aunt Becky's house." And he's like, "Well, where does Aunt Becky live?" And I'm like, "Cumbernauld, I just told you." And he's like, "What's her address?" I'm like, "I don't know. She lives at Aunt Becky's house." And he's like, "How are you getting to Aunt Becky's house?" I'm like, "My cousin's picking me up." "Well, what kind of car does he drive?" "I don't know." "Where is he meeting you?" "I don't know. I hope on the other side of the door." Like, I literally had no idea where I was going or what I was doing. And thankfully, he finally let me through, and the doors open, and there was my cousin waiting to pick me up and take me to my Aunt Becky's house. But I never made that mistake again. I always had the address of where I was going after that. And
now you're nervous that you can't decide which shoes to pack.
Exactly. It's so crazy, Carrie.
It'll be all good, and you're gonna have an awesome time. I can't wait to hear all about it, about the experience of being on a non-Disney vacation, on a non-Disney cruise ship, in a new city.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a new experience for me. That's for sure. Yeah, because there's a lot of the Carnival cruise I don't remember or I don't want to remember.
Either you can't remember or you don't want to remember. I know what Carnival cruises are like, and you were in your younger, more wild Franny days.
I was in my party hardy days, and it was a lot for me.
It was too much.
It was a lot for me. Yeah, like, make no mistake, we had a good time, but there were a lot of kids on the ship, and I think I've said this before. There were kids everywhere at 2:00 in the morning. And I was like, this makes no sense to me. But it's because their kids' clubs weren't enticing to keep them in them. So they were just kind of wandering the ship everywhere. So it'll be interesting to see how this one is. And to go visit the Disney store in New York.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of excited about.
Very
a real
cool.
Disney store. Yeah. Okay, Carrie, we had been talking about doing like quizzes and fun facts and things like that. I have one for you.
Great.
Carrie's really excited about this.
I know nothing about it.
I know. That's why it was very important that I found this. And, I want to ask anybody listening, if there's certain quizzes or fun facts you think we should be reviewing on the podcast, send them in. Or a game. Carrie, we never do well with
They're
games.
so much fun.
When we do, we've done, like, maybe we need to do, like, another round of the games that we've done before, but more serious, because
More serious.
More serious. We always struggle, because then we mess it up, and then we do the this or that, and then we don't pick one. She's nodding at me. It's, again, Carrie, it's an audio podcast.
I got nothing to say. I got no response.
Oh my gosh. Well, I found this quiz online. Mm-hmm. And it's about, I figured, with Epcot's birthday this month, that it was a good thing to talk about Epcot's World Showcase.
I don't think I know much about World Showcase in detail, so...
Well, I don't know that it's that detailed, but, it's a little. It's good. But it's Epcot's birthday. You just can't
talk about Epcot's birthday?
Well, it's 40 this year. I can't believe that when I think about it. 40 years. Wow.
Crazy.
It doesn't feel like it's that old. But you think of the changes. Have you seen some of those pictures online of like, how different it is now?
That's what's been neat, like seeing all the retro pictures that people have been posting, and Disney, I think, has posted a few of them. Mm-hmm. Did you see what they've done to Spaceship Earth? Like how they've lit it up? Like that's pretty special.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they've really done some nice things,
and they had lots of pins, lots of pins
for the birthday.
Yeah, because when we talked to Dustin, we were talking about how the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party kind of dropped the ball and they didn't have anything going on, but I think they definitely delivered for Epcot.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. But we weren't there.
Is it all sold out, I wonder?
Probably, because it's awesome.
No, you never know. Like, they might still have some stuff by the time we get there.
Doubt it. Let's get on to the quiz.
You never know. We got, it's not that far off before we get there. All right, Carrie, I'm going to ask you the questions.
Great. Because I can't ask because I don't know any of the quiz questions. This is
Exactly. There is a method to my madness. Next time you find the quiz, you can ask the questions. But since I found the quiz, it's only 8 questions. It's only 8.
I'm just going to
like
say
your favorite park. You love Epcot.
Yeah, and I'm going to get embarrassed because I probably don't know any of the answers.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sad. Okay.
All right. And there's a typo in the first.
Canada. I started Canada.
No. How many international pavilions have been added since the park opened? It's multiple choice, so I'm going to give you the just chill.
Since it opened?
Since it opened, 1, with Norway being it. 2, Norway and Morocco. 3, Norway, Morocco, and United Kingdom.
Do you know the answer to this? Like, if I asked you the question, would you have known the answer?
Probably not.
What were they again?
Oh, I guess I clicked the answer, and now the answer's gone.
Okay, I'm going to say...
Okay, hang on, hold on. Okay, Norway. So 1, which is Norway. 2 is Norway and Morocco. 3 is Norway, Morocco, and United Kingdom.
I'm going to say 2. I don't know.
Norway and Morocco. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Yay!
You got... See, if we had one of those fancy things that Dustin has, I could have done a do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, you got it right. Okay. All right. This one.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I didn't say this was a hard quiz. What Disney royalty occupies the Royal Summer House in the Norway Pavilion
Good grief.
at World Showcase? Anna and Elsa,
Yeah.
Snow White,
Ooh.
or Belle? Do, 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 do.
Number 1.
Anna and Elsa. Yay! You got it right.
Good grief.
Oh, you think it's too easy, do you?
No. I just...
Oh, you think it's too easy. Which international pavilion
No.
opened in 1988? Norway,
Or Morocco.
Mexico, France, or Morocco?
I'm gonna say Morocco. I don't know.
You're wrong. It's Norway.
Oh, I had 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I knew it was
you had
one.
a
I thought that
50-50.
maybe. I thought
After-
maybe Norway would have been the first. Would have been maybe like earlier. I don't know why. That was
Right.
my guess. I thought Morocco might have been a little later, but. So
It
it's
was a
Norway.
50.
So Morocco was there
Yeah.
first, and then Norway came to town.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. Now, this is an
I'm
old...
gonna put that in my when I'm touring people around. Be like, well, fun
Did
fact.
you know? Fun
Fun
fact.
fact.
When you're not on an adventure by Carrie, she can tell you about the pavilions. Here's another one.
Is this question number 4?
What? Why? Because you
Or
want this
3?
to be over? You know there's another cruise? Another quiz. How well do you know Disneyland's Haunted Mansion? I might just give you that quiz after this one.
Oh.
Just because. Okay, so let's get through this because this one...
Why
it's
couldn't that been the cruise? The question. The cruise. The questions. The quiz.
Oh, this is an older
We're tired.
quiz. It's a couple years old.
Okay.
A new attraction, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, is planned for which pavilion? United Kingdom,
France.
United States, or France? You got it right, Carrie.
Ding, 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 ding.
Where can you enjoy performances by the Jeweled Dragon Acrobats? Japan, China, or Morocco?
I'm gonna say China, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
I know it because in Japan they have the drummers.
Yeah. See? Good call. Snow White often greets guests at what international pavilion? Germany, the U.S., or the United Kingdom?
That would be Germany.
Germany is right. Look at you go. See? You were complaining. Oh, which World Showcase restaurant features live music by an Oompa band? That's what it says. An
Oompa Loompa?
An Oompa band.
Oompa
Via Napoli?
Oompa,
Or is it
Oompa.
via Napoli? Is it Napoli or Napoli?
That's fine. Napoli.
Okay. The beer garden in Germany or
Oompa,
Chefs de
Oompa.
France.
Wonder. The beer garden. Oompa,
The beer
Oompa.
garden. Have you ever eaten there?
No.
It's fun. It's a fun show. I wasn't overjoyed at the food, but it's a fun show.
Never been.
Oh, it's fun. Okay, you were right. Question number 8.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. The design for the American Adventure attraction building was inspired by each of the following, except
I'll get this one
Monticello, Independence Hall, Old State House in Boston,
Oh, good grief.
or Valley Forge. I don't know where any of these places are.
B.
Independence Hall is wrong. It's Valley Forge.
Google.
Wah, wah. You've heard it before. You got 6 out of 8.
Wow, not bad. Considering I was afraid I was going to get 0 out of 8.
You did very well, Carrie.
Gold star. Can I have a sticker?
Yes, after you do. How well do you know the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland?
I'm nervous
because you know
about
what?
this one.
No, because you were all blah, blah, blah. So now I'm going to give you this one.
Did you look at them? Do you know them? Did you look?
No,
Is it hard?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it. You know me. I don't read ahead. I don't like to read ahead. I feel like... Okay. The Haunted Man... Are you ready?
I'm ready. And then these guys can be like, woohoo, they're done. Hurry it up.
I know. The Haunted Mansion at Disneyland was the first major Disney attraction created without the direct supervision of Walt Disney.
Huh? Is this a true or false?
True or false?
True.
You are right.
Because wasn't Pirates the last one that he had the direct?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so.
That he worked all the way through.
Carrie, even our listeners will be able to answer this one. Like I won't even get all the words out of my mouth.
And everyone's going to be shouting the answer loud.
How many ghosts occupy the Haunted Mansion?
999.
Happy haunts.
1003. No,
but there's
999.
room for 1,000.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. In Disneyland, the Haunted Mansion is in what land? Critter Country, New Orleans Square, or Adventureland?
New Orleans Square.
You know, and that is a fun fact that in all the Disney parks around the world, it is in a different land. Pretty cool. Because it's in Frontierland.
No, it's in what do they call it? Liberty Square.
Liberty Square. And then I'm not even going to pretend to know the other ones. Never mind. You ready?
Yes.
What is the name of the singing bust quintet made up of Rollo Rumpkin, Uncle Theodore, Cousin Algernon, Ned Nubb, and Phineas Puck? The 3 options are Dead or Alive 5, the Hatbox Ghouls, or the Phantom 5.
The Phantom 5, I'm going to guess. I have no idea.
You got it right. I didn't know they had a name either.
Sounds familiar.
Interesting. Okay. Question 5. The epitaphs on the tombstones are written in honor of Disney legends and Walt Disney Imagineers who created and maintained the attraction. True or false?
True.
There you go, Carrie. See? You did great. You got 5 out of 5. That was it.
Like they could have asked like who someone was dedicated, like who they were or something like that.
I know. Like, these were quizzes on the Disney Parks blog. These are fun.
Oh my goodness.
So here's the challenge. We talk about doing quizzes and fun facts, but then I find these things on other sites and I read them. And then I'm pretty sure that 1 or 2 of them are wrong. So then I don't want to do them.
So right? Look for the official ones.
I look for the official ones. But then the official ones are written for like 12-year-olds to answer sometimes.
I know. Well, and I think like maybe they'd ask about the style of the Haunted Mansion or like list 5 reasons why it's superior to the Walt Disney World version.
Oh,
or,
please.
You know, there's so many.
As soon as we get our Hatbox Ghost, you're done. You're done. Then
Well,
it'll
have
be
a little
all
while, because
about...
who knows when that's going to show up. 2024.
Yeah, I know. Could be 2024, 2025.
I think though, like the questions would be a little bit harder, but
yeah, I know.
So we need people to like the fact or fiction one that we did was fun, right? Because that one was a little bit. Some of them were a little bit trickier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just hard when you find like the official ones because they really are pretty easy. But then the other ones, I worry that they're not right. Because I'm usually pretty sure that one or two of the questions are not right. Yeah. Okay, Carrie. Yeah. We've yabbered enough. Mm-hmm. We've shared some fun facts that I'm pretty sure most people already knew all the answers to.
Mm-hmm.
True but enough. I bet they can't guess what your pixie dust is this week.
Oh, dear. It's like this pixie dust might not be as exciting as some of my other pixie dust. Like, I don't know
till you hear mine.
I don't know that I'm gonna be able to like turn it into a story that I say my pixie dust and then I talk for another 5 minutes about it. But anyways, so my pixie dust this week is
that you say that like our listeners really want us to babble on about our pixie dust.
Well, I think it's just what I do. I don't know whether they want to do it or not. I have no control over it. It's just what happens. It's just what happens. I start talking and then it turns into something a little ridiculous. Okay, my pixie dust this week, I feel like I'm standing in front of my class reading my essay that I had to write. My pixie dust this week is that I had to go to work conference. Well, it's not even a conference. Maybe a convention, we'll call it. We'll put it in the convention.
We'll call it a convention.
A work-related sort of convention where there's a trade show. A work-related trade show in
It's only going to take us 10 minutes to figure out what to call Carrie's pixie dust.
Anyways, so we were working all weekend long, so we were in the Big Smoke, and we had to stay overnight a couple nights, and
the
we
Big
worked
Smoke
all day.
Is Toronto.
Yeah, we worked all day together, and I saw all my colleagues, not all of them, a lot of my colleagues. I got to spend a couple of days with them. Some colleagues I hadn't seen very much because of COVID. I got to see them, and even some colleagues that used to work where I work but now work at other places. I got to run into them and see them too. So it was really neat to like spend some quality time. I don't know if my colleagues really would look at this experience as having an opportunity to spend some quality time with each other again. But I love going to work and I love seeing my colleagues. So I thought it was an awesome weekend for that. And so we did lots of laughing, and it felt like we do this every single year, except for the last 2 years because of COVID. So it really felt like normal.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun. We had lots of laughs and a lot of hard work, and we're tired.
And you got to hang out downtown Toronto.
Yeah, and we got to be in the city, and it was a lot of fun. So that was my pixie dust.
Nice. And I saw you were near the CN Tower and everything.
Yeah, right downtown.
Right downtown. And you sent pictures to our friend Anna.
Yeah, I sent pictures to Anna. Just so she likes the CN Tower.
She loves the CN Tower. Mm-hmm. She loves it.
So that's my pixie dust. Just some regular old pixie dust.
That's nice. You get to spend time with your friends and your colleagues. That's good pixie dust.
Yes.
Nice.
I hope they were as happy to see me as I was to see them.
Well, you were very happy to see them, and that is nice. And I'm sure they were happy to see you too.
For sure.
Yes.
Anyways, what about yours? What's your pixie dust? Going on a cruise, packing, figuring out how to pack.
Yeah, Carrie, my house has been an absolute disaster for months. So as much as it does, it's not glamorous by any stretch of the imagination, but I cleaned my house and it feels good. Let me rephrase. I tidied my house. It's not necessarily clean, but because I told you, did I tell you when my B-man came and he was like, I have to come see your balcony, and I'm like, oh my God, you got to walk through my house. Uh-oh. And I was mortified having him come in to my house. So I couldn't take it anymore, and it's at least tidy for if somebody walked through my house, I would not be mortified. So that
and you
felt
took
good.
The time. You gave yourself the time.
I took the time to do it. I did. So It felt good.
That's
sometimes, sometimes my mind feels really cluttered if my house is a mess. I don't know if that makes sense, but if there's too much clutter, then my brain feels cluttered and I can't function. So it kind of hit that threshold and then, so I feel better. Yay.
Cool.
Gosh, we're exciting, aren't we?
I'm just tired.
I was gonna say, well, thanks for listening, and if you want to recommend us to your friends,
maybe not this time.
I'm thinking this episode you might want to just say thanks.
But we've got fun times ahead. This one
we do. So
we've got some trips.
I was hoping that we were gonna have one that vlog or whatever on from what's it called? I can't remember his name now. Because I'm talking about him, so it's escaped my brain. But you're not going to say it because I'm mad because I've emailed him twice and he hasn't replied. So we were kind of hoping that we would have a guest.
And
but yeah. Anyway, what
I don't want to jinx it. What if he messages you tomorrow and says sorry?
Whatever. Yeah, I don't think so, Carrie. I think that ship has sailed. I think it's sailed. It's okay. Like, you know what? Who does he think he is? Bob Gurr? We've had like... What, are you worried he's listening? He's not listening. He's not listening.
I know. I know.
Yeah. So we have some guests coming up for sure. And lots of good content coming. Thank you very much for listening and recommend other episodes to your friends.
Don't tell them to listen to this one.
Don't tell them to listen to this one.
If you want to tell somebody, tell them about us. We'd love that. We are so happy. But tell them, you should listen to episode, give them an episode number to listen to. Don't just tell them to listen to the last one.
Yeah. But you know what I'd be interested in? I'd really love it if our listeners could tell us if they have this kind of problem when they're traveling too. Like if they're regular Disney travelers, do they have the same issue you and I do? That would be interesting to know. Mm-hmm. Let us know. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.